kids, welcome back to Roto Talk.
Welcome back, kids. Had a couple of my buddies want a shop tour, so this is going to just be a semi-quick video. So this is the wife's garage. Well, that's where her car is anyway. Lawnmower, motorcycle. If you don't know bikes, you won't know what that is. But anyway, all the junk. All right. So, my car. This is my shop. So if you walk out here, I have a 2.5 car garage right there, and my single car, which is all RC, 100% tools and RC, my car, and then we got the hill killer mower, which usually sits in here. So this is where I spend as much time as humanly possible. All right, we're gonna kill the music. All right, cool. So basically, I guess where will we start? So, this is storage for some guitar stuff. In case a lot of you didn't know, been a guitarist since I was about 10, and I'm going to be 48 next week. So, went to music school, did all that stuff and whatever else, and just some of my guitar equipment that I don't have in the house. I have like 30 guitars in the house, but just some PA. There's a full stack there. Half stack there, some PA equipment, some rack equipment, whatever, no big deal. And then the rest is all boats. So let's start over here. This is the junk area. Now, those of you that are used to like M5's channel and stuff like that, he has like this immaculate workshop. Like, I'm pretty sure, and I love the guy, love him, but I'm pretty sure his wife kicked him out of the house because no workshop should be that clean. I'm sorry. I mean, the guy's awesome. I love him, but damn, it's just so you could eat off the floors. Mine is not that way. So, barring all of the music stuff, air compressor, it's a 135 PSI, whatever the hell it is. This bucket here is all PVC stuff for making boat stands. There's my little spare welder over there. This is a portable air tank that I made out of a propane tank, so this is just charged with air. This I gotta show you guys. This is my prop case that my buddy JJ Horvath, and I will link his store down in the description here. He made me this and sent it to me, and he and I are great friends. And I got some nuts loose, but this is my prop case, and I absolutely love it. He did it with his CNC cutter, I believe. And it's just awesome. I sling this thing on Robo Mower or the Hill Killer and take it down to the lake with me when I want to test props. And then you guys saw this in the last video. This is just my toolbox that goes in the tractor when I go down. It has everything you need. A couple spare gas tanks, starter, all sorts of stuff. These things are great. Oh, shit the bed. Here we go. Wait a minute. All right, these, my buddy Alan got me these. And these are these little precision, like, box end wrenches. I don't know where he got them, but when you're doing, like, trim tabs on a boat, those tiny little nuts like Bardwell has, awesome. These things are the best, man. They're just like, whew. I'm sorry, tiny little ones like Oxidine Marine. Bill Oxidine. We'll talk about him later. He's my new Bardwell. But anyway, 5/8 wrenches, just, the usual. If you guys want a tool video of what's a good thing to have, good stuff to have for boats when you go to the water, let me know, and I will set that up. This is one of my hokey-ass boat racks. This actually fits in the trailer of my tractor that you guys saw, and it goes all the way across. I can strap any boat down to it, and it works great. Again, PVC, all out of that bucket. Boat fuel. So here we go. I do use ethanol-free fuel. That I live in lake country, tons and tons of lakes, so I can get ethanol-free gas pretty easily. And then I just mix this with, there you go, Amsoil Sabre, about 8 to 9 ounces a gallon. That's what I do. This is all 3D printed. My little pump, fuel shutoff valve, little fuel filter in there, because obviously I don't keep a clean shop. And then this one here is another one that's just kind of the exact same thing, only a hokey. This is not oil. That is actually a gas mix. This one I use for the garage. This one I use for down with the water. That one's actually propane. One of the things that I do is I refill my own propane tanks. You know, like little ones that you do for doing prop shafts and stuff. It's much cheaper to buy a $25 propane tank and refill the cylinders, you know, the little torch cylinders, refill them your own. It costs like $1 versus $20 or whatever it costs for those. So, air compressor, obviously. This is my main line that I use. Everybody should have one. A little bit of a blower. And then we have another line. I have a gang valve coming off of there, going to a cord reel, so if I have to work on the cars or whatever. Some more speakers up there. This is just some nitro engines. Nitro fuel, because I still do run nitro cars, which are up there. Once in a blue moon, I still have one nitro boat left, I think. Yeah, just one. So this is the starter for my nitro outboard. I used to be a huge nitro boat guy, and I just can't get into it anymore. Some pneumatic stuff, fuel fittings for stuff. And these are just some of my cool nitro engines. I just kind of wanted them on a shelf. Some of them are for cars, but most of them are boats. Got outboards. It's a good old-fashioned K&B 3.5, probably from the 80s. I don't know. But I totally rebuilt this. I think I did that in a video. Ooh. Oh, plug's not tight. Okay. An old school K&B. Yeah, look at that, dude. It's got a carb throttle, or a muffler throttle, exhaust throttle. So when you restrict the exhaust, it slows down the motor. Crazy, right? Never used it. Once in a while I get nostalgic, and I will buy a couple nitro engines off eBay and just rebuild them, and I don't actually use them. It's just fun. Here's a neat one. One that I got. That's a K&B too, I believe. Yeah. K&B 11cc. Look at the size of that, dude. It's a beast. This one I got from my buddy JJ Horvath down in Florida. And I'm not sure. That's a Pro. Let's see. Yeah, 120. This thing's a beast. You can run a chainsaw off that thing. You run Bill Oxadine's mouth off of that. That's pretty good. So anyway, yeah. Pretty cool. So let's get into some boats. That is an ML hydroplane that I built. Electric FE called the Jester. What is that thing? Is that the 30-inch? I don't know. It's a 6S. Runs great. You can see I had a little bit of a boo-boo right there. That is not bird shit. That is actually a crack. Not a crack, but paint came up. I've crashed it actually a couple times in the buoys. I had to rebuild the front a little bit. I am not a huge electric guy. I think I got burnt out on lipos with drones and quads. I'm over it. So I do have a few electric boats, but I don't really run them very much. That is a great machine, though. That is a, like I said, it's an ML 280? God, can't remember. JJ or whoever, correct me on that. But dual cooling, I think it's a 2000, maybe an 1800 kV 6S, runs great, love that boat. This is one that I built for my daughter, my oldest daughter. I have two daughters and a big old son. My big old son had a kid and is married, but I made this for Ella, and she is 9. And she loves dragons, so we 3D print, or not 3D printed, we used a Cricut. We I make all my own decals. Put her dragon on the front, just a little setup, nothing fancy. Runs off of 3S, neat little boat. I mean, you can see it's not very big. It's fun. Tugboat, a Zip Kits Tugster. Absolutely love these boats. I've built so many of them. This one was to be a rescue boat. Got some coffee stains or something there. This one does have a servo controlled winch You can see it right in there that I made. 3D printed a bunch of stuff, and there's actually a servo that I made with endless rotation. Oh, got some spider webs in there. That is also RC controlled. And this will drop the buoy, drop out about 50 feet of line, and you can circle your boats and bring it in. I 3D print my tops because I don't like the stock tops. I ain't spent a lot of time on this. This was just kind of an emergency rescue boat. And I use my own guts for it. I got metal props. It's not the same as what Zip Kit sells you. I love Joe. He and I are friends. I love that little boat. I built 3 or 4 of them. This one is another Zip Kit's FE Mono, and I know this is wrong, but this was actually a prototype he sent me and a few other people, and it is in the process of getting new run strips on the bottom, but that's about it. This RC, this toolbox here is 100% RC parts. There's some bullshit down the bottom that's not, but it's all electrical, servos, boat stuff, all totally unorganized, but that is 100% RC. This one here is normal tools, obviously. My big old Matco, it's about 5.5 feet high. Some sprays. This is CA Cure to cure super glue really fast. Electrical contact cleaner. We'll do a video on this later. It's great stuff. Red Loctite. Never use it on a boat usually. PVC glue. That needs to go in there. All right. This is my lucky shit. That's what I call this. On the other side it says lucky, and it's got the shit symbol of an emoji. And I 3D printed a little Dorothy dude. What do they call those Munchkin guys? Leprechauns. I rebuilt this last winter. I bought this hull off of eBay. It does have a KMB 3.5 outboard with a tuned pipe, nitro. And I bought this hull, and I think it was hot pink. I bought it for like $50 or something, and it was awful. It was like hot pink and had holes in it. It was just trash. So I rebuilt it. Might have been in videos before. I think I did do a run video of it. Runs like a champ. I ran it one time. I did a quick. Jesus, it's windy. Let me shut this door. Did a quick bench setting on it and chucked it in the lake, and she ran like really good. And for bench settings, it could have been better, but whatever. Up there is a boat I lost interest in building. That is an ML. No, is that an ML? Yes, that's an ML. I can't remember what Thunderboat. It's an FE. It's an electric boat. Could care less. Some more quads from the old drone days. You guys have recognized some of these things here. This is my sound system for the workshop. This is a Bluetooth speaker that's it's a TV bar. I have 3 of these things. I love them. I bought them for like $80 a piece off of Amazon, and I use one for computer speakers in my office. I use this one out here, and I have another one in one of the rooms of the house. And it's nice because what I do is I use an old cell phone that's not used anymore, except for an Android, and I put music on it. I Bluetooth it to this, and we have tunes you can think of. Awesome. So there's my music for in here. A little air horn I like to freak my kids out with. Let's see. Let's go back here. Shut this door. It's like a wind tunnel in here. Some rope. A metal flag that was laser cut by one of my buddies for me and painted as an American flag. My buddy in California made me this. I love it. It's wood, and he makes these things, and he wood burns. I think that's actually wood burns, not laser. I think he actually brands that in. He did me a JJROTOGEEK in a 1776. It's absolutely awesome. And I had it hanging in my old place in Ohio. Love it. Some headphones, bullshit, whatever. Another drone. Nuts and bolts. I buy all of my metric stainless bolts in kits off of Amazon. And I go through them like mad. I do a lot of builds, as you guys know. So that's what I do. 3D printed alligator head. I don't know why I did that, but he holds some small prop shafts for me sometimes. Power, drill recharging, O-ring sets. rubber gloves for giving exams. No, just kidding. That's for when I grease shafts and stuff. Heat gun, heat shrink tubing. Silicone modified conformal coating. I love this stuff. This is what I waterproof all of my servos with. I'll get to that later. Like I said, my shop's it's a hole in the wall, but there's everything that you need. And I know where everything's at. Leather welding gloves I use for a lot of stuff. My modified Makita grinder that I cut my knuckle off with a few months back, and it was really gnarly. You could see the tendons moving and stuff. That was great. Allen wrenches, soldering gun, crimps, it's all the crap. Well, if you guys want a video on the tools that are really advantageous to have for RC boats, let me know. I will do a complete tool overview. Bardwell will probably be in there because he's a tool, and definitely Oxidine. So, Bill, such a tool. He's just a white guy dipped in caramel. But anyway, if you don't know who I'm talking about, look up Bill Oxidine from Oxidine RC Boats, and yeah, we'll have a whole different discussion on him. My buddy Ryan, a guy that I met out in California, he's a military guy, great person. Met him maybe a month ago or so. He's kind of the one that said, hey, you need to do some more YouTube stuff. It's like, all right, fine, we'll do some more YouTube stuff. Great guy, but he got screwed by Oxidine, as many have. And JJ Horvath, one of my best friends, he's gone round and round with him too. So, and I do know him. I've talked to him a couple of times too, and he's offered to send me some free rigger kits and things. I turned him down, just like I used to be with drones and quadcopters and things like that I got started back into years ago. If I don't believe in the product, don't send it to me, because I won't even review it. I only do stuff from people that are good folks and good products. I don't do shit just to get free shit. I never will. I do get free boat kits here and there from pals of mine and good friends of mine, but only stuff that I already liked before I met them. So works out handy. On the windowsill here, we got some goose killers. In case you guys didn't know, I absolutely despise Canadian geese with an assorted passion. Here's a 3D printed Lego driver, a pilot. These are that's Mario and Kirby off of the old Nintendo Cracker, and Snoopy. There used to be a Woodstock, but he drowned. He fell off the boat. That's a long story. Anyway, shit. More tools. Just like I said, if you guys want a tools video, I will go over it. I know it looks horrifically unorganized, but I do know where everything's at. These things here, you all know what these are if you've ever had a vasectomy. Worth their weight in gold. I buy these off of Amazon probably once a year. I buy like a set of 20 because I lose them or I leave them down in the water or whatever else. Just a whole nother devil. You guys remember some goggles from the FPV days? T-handle Allen wrenches, all the tapes, belts, more stuff. You'll notice I have 2 or 3 of absolutely everything. That's because I usually lose 2 or 3 of absolutely everything, so that works out well. This is another ML hydroplane. This is the smaller one. I called it the Mistaken. I can't remember the model of that one either. Maybe that's the 30. Is that the 40? I don't remember. Shit. And we got the Flying Wing. I forgot to go up high here. I'm sorry. That is a Roven super modified. We call that the Big Muff. That's a 36cc tuned pipe 2-stroke dune buggy that you guys have probably seen on my channel before, heavily Jasonified or JJROTOGEEKed. Awesome car. I haven't had it out in at least a year and a half. It's awesome car. It's so modified, but it's yeah, I just don't do cars. I just don't have time. This I actually bought as a rescue boat. This is, what is this damn thing? It's a pro boat airboat thing. Might have seen it on the channel. I don't know if I ever did. It takes a 4S. Yeah. That is the loudest damn boat in this garage, I think. It's awful. And it's terrible as a rescue boat. Terrible. It's a fun little boat to drive because it's an airboat. It's brushless and it moves pretty good, and it can go in snow and can go over weeds. The very first RC boat I ever built as a little kid was what was that thing called? A Lil L-I-L, Lil Swamp Buggy by Dumas, actually, and it had a little Cox 4.9 nitro engine on it. It was so fun. But I was like 8 or 9 or whatever it was, and it was like great. And this thing's so much faster, and it is nice. I mean, if you guys want a swamp buggy, it's a great little boat. Terrible as a rescue boat, though. No, don't do it. So here's the real rescue boat. We call the tow motor. This is actually a Zip Kit's Cracker Box kit. And I'm not going to take it down to show you, but I have a very modified rudder. As you can see, it's you guys might have seen this on channel before. It used to be that this motor actually rotated, and it doesn't anymore. It's static because it wasn't great. So I made this static, and I put a good old school rudder on it, but obviously way too much prop for that little rudder. So I 3D printed a fake arm for it, and it works great. This thing will literally, you guys might have seen the video where it's pulling me in the kayak. That is a 60 or an 80 pound thrust trolling motor that I run off of 3S 5,000 milliamp batteries, and it'll literally pull a ski boat in, and we did it. My ass weighs 240, and the kayak weighs 60, and plus the water drag and everything, and it pulled me at like 10 knots. It was awesome. It works great as a rescue boat. I have forks that fit on the front of it. It's got a little bit of war damage, but not too bad. I just winterized it because it's getting cold, and I use the rowboat now. I put a bait caster fishing reel on here from Amazon, and with some fly fishing thread, pretty strong stuff, and a 3D printed buoy for dragging the buoy around a boat. Because if a boat just stalls, I want to be able to, if you don't want to push it in, because there are certain circumstances where you don't want to push, and you'd rather drag. Certain boats will swamp if you pull them in. It's just depends. So this one has the best of both worlds. This one has forks that come out the front, or a drag buoy in the back, which is nice. Then along this cleat back here, there's some 2,000 pound test rope, which is obviously a little overkill. Same rope it's hanging from. And that, so in case anybody's drowning or something, they can hook that to their ski boats or pull themselves in with it. And it actually does work. It's amazing. I printed a little Joe Biden, because we all know I'm a right-wing fanatic, a Joe Biden 3D printed his head as a drag buoy, but I haven't put it on yet. A lot of you guys remember this hat from the quadcopter days. My buddy Zebra had this made for me at his base in Iraq. Awesome stuff. Multimeters, like again, the ML Hydro. Nitro cars, some spare sponsons. We'll get to that for one of my riggers. Huge heat shrink tubing for making 6S batteries. Oh, look at this mess. A whole nother mess. Engine oil, clear coat for when I paint, fiberglass, wood glue for when I do builds, starter fluid, grease. One of the things I do with grease, depending on what I'm using it for, I drill a hole in it and I put a little epoxy brush in there, and that way I can just, like if I want to smear it on something, it's kind of nice. Honing stones for when I sharpen the wife's kitchen knives. When I was a little kid in high school, I was an apprentice butcher, and my boss taught me how to sharpen knives the old-fashioned way, and it was a nightmare. But I can sharpen a knife like a razor blade now. Pour foam, which is what I use for flotation in the boat builds that I do. Clear coat hardener, I believe, yes. This is good stuff. What's this? Measure Right. This is basically fiberglass powder. Looks like cocaine. Don't snort it. It'll kill you. that is what you mix with epoxy or fiberglass to thicken it up. You know, this is a whole mess of stuff. This nasty looking shit, I think, is Bill Oxadine's urine. Yep, for sure. No, that's paint. And 400 grit sandpaper for wet sanding, whatever else. You'll see a lot of cordless drills, weights. That is not all of the weights that I use. I have a ton of weights under here. Those are for when I do builds. Oh, see, there's somebody that turned down my road that doesn't know where the fuck they're going. But anyway, I use weights for clamps for holding down boat parts when I'm building boats, because most of the boats that I build are wood, obviously. So here's some paint stuff. Most of this is paint stuff. Popsicle sticks for mixing epoxy. Holy shit. I go through a lot of those things. Anyway, so let's get to some boats. Here is kind of like, that's my main workbench for, and I got chop saws and crap under here. Tools. Just big power tools and stuff like that. This workbench is more of like the light work stuff. Some LiPo chargers, and I use LiPo chargers for charging my receiver packs. Do I have any down? I don't actually use these anymore. I don't think I have any out. Anyway, I use these black 7-volt things. But anyway, LiPo chargers. There's my bullet heater for winter time when I'm out here. WD-40 in bulk. And this Harbor Freight, guys, ammo can. It's like 13 bucks. This is where I store my LiPos. For the very few times I run electric boats, I very rarely run electrics anymore. I think, JJ, correct me if I'm wrong, I think I ran in the spring, and that was about it. Here's my redneck boots that I use for when it gets cool, for in the water. But this is the light duty bench. So this is the bench where, like, a lot of times do engine tuning, greasing stuff, whatever. I use a lot of different greases on shafts. This is with PTFE, Quicksilver. Good stuff. This is wheel bearing grease, which is crap. It's just really thick, nasty grease. What else do I have? Grease. I thought I had a WD-40 grease. I'll find it somewhere. But I have another tube of that. That's the WD-40 stuff. Guys, I run boats almost every single day. And I have used about every grease I can think of. And I've never noticed a difference. If you grease your shaft after every run, after every big run, it doesn't matter if you use baby diaper stuff. It will work. I'm sorry. These guys are like, oh, you have to use this grease, you have to use that. That's crap. I'm sorry. I was an apprentice boat mechanic when I was a kid. I'm a robotics engineer now. I've built a lot of boats, a lot of moving things, modified a lot of stuff. And if you're not changing your grease every time, it might make a difference. But if you run a tank through a gas boat, wipe your shaft off, re-grease. Just saying. And then it really doesn't frickin' matter. Gas mask, for when I'm talking about Oxidine marine stuff. No, that's for painting. And just you see all the miscellaneous crap. WD-40 in bulk in a spray can. This is my Duracell rigger, which I absolutely love this boat. That was a prototype from Joe at Zip Kits that he sent me a long time ago. Maybe, hell, I still lived in Ohio when I did that. 2 years ago, 3 years ago. And I couldn't think of anything to make it. There's a wood boat, electric boat, and I built it. I thought, well, it's an electric boat. Let's paint it like a battery. And that is a fast fucking boat, but it is so ugly. The nose and the way it's just ugly. But electric boat, make it look like a battery. There's another ML rigger, tiny little rigger, little guy, 20 some odd inches. I hate it. I don't like small boats. That's like a really tiny boat. I can't remember the size of it. Hate it. 21 inch, something like that. Nothing against ML. I love ML Boatworks. Great stuff. But I just don't like small riggers. I think it's gay. My weld helmet. Always fun. Then we've got the ML RSX 380, which is a great machine. This is another ML Boatworks I built. That is a 6S machine. Very, very fast. Now, unlike the zip kits run on a ski. These run off of rear sponsons. You can see the sponsons there. And this one, I don't know if I can show you. Anyway. That one runs off a ski. I prefer the ski myself. I think maybe it's just because that's what I'm used to. But I love Joe's riggers. They're great. I'm not a huge rigger fan. I've got some really nice ones. But, when you run alone. If you're racing, riggers are great. When you're just running by yourself, riggers are kind of a bore. You guys have probably seen this one in a video or two. This was the hull that I got off my buddy JJ down in Florida that he hit the pipe with. We're still tuning it in. This is the T44, I think 44, correct me if I'm wrong. RC Boat Works fiberglass catamaran hull. Great boat. I'm having a lot of fun with it. I think I've got it almost dialed in. We had to change a couple of things on the tuning and whatnot. But man, it's responsive. That boat just it turns like a rigger. It really does. Absolutely insane. You guys saw this one the other day. This is Jason, the Friday the 13th skiff. You might have seen that in the last video. This is named after my favorite restaurant in Frederick, Maryland, which is where the company that I work for, their headquarters is located. And every time I'm there, I just spend way too much money at that restaurant. I liked it so much that I actually built a boat after it. It's called Maze Seafood, and it's absolutely amazing. That boat up there is an empty hull. That is a shit the bed. What is the name of that boat? I can't remember now. Huge machine. It's like 60 inches, 57 inches. It's massive. It really needs a twin, and it hasn't run. There's nothing in it. Empty hull. Had a little bit of war damage. It's patched up. Just needs sanded down and repainted. So it sits on the shelf. We've all seen Einstein, probably. This is a SLR Thunderboat from Zip Kits. The first Thunderboat I ever built. I absolutely love Einstein. He's my beat up one. He's been through some damage, but great boat. It's running a 30cc Zenoa. I love him. He runs great. This is the one I built this year. I think in springtime. Same thing, SLR Thunderboat, because I love Thunderboats. And this was my mothership Alien. You can see my little 3D printed Alien guy there. My wife actually hand-painted Einstein. Awesome. Mrs. JJROTOGEEK did that. So with this one, I did a little bit different. I did raw stained wood on the sponsons and on the transom. That is not laminate, by the way, and you can probably tell. You guys that are really anal are probably like, it's ugly as shit. It's okay. It is ugly as shit. But, really for no laminate, just for kit, I think it looks pretty good. This is also running a Zenoa 30cc. To be race legal, I believe these have to run 26cc Zenoas. But I don't race, so I don't care. I like shit to go fast and fun. And that's just what I do. I have this boat hanging in my office, which is one of my favorite Thunderboats, one of the best builds I ever did, called the Red Baron. And I 3D printed the driver. He is obviously a World War I ace pilot. And that boat I built that 3 years ago, has never seen water. Matter of fact, I took all the guts out. It's always been race ready, run ready. And I took all the guts out beginning of summer, and I hung it in my office with all my guitars and stuff because I just thought, such a beautiful boat. It's better as a wall piece than it is a runner. This one I've only run once, I think. All my boats are very dirty. I'm sorry. I do a lot of work in here, so shit gets dusty really bad. Even if I run, I just ran this boat yesterday. I guarantee you that thing's covered with dust already, just because, A, I live behind my cousin's field, which is massive, and all that shit blows in, and then I'm always sanding and doing stuff in here. This is a Rico Super Boat. Absolutely love Rico racing hulls. I'm not a huge fiberglass guy. I have very few fiberglass boats. Most of my boats are wood, but Rico racing, bam, top notch. Love the shit. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 of his boats. Absolutely love them. just phenomenal. This one is running, this is a super boat, offshore. No, it's a super boat. Man of War. This is running a Redline Zenoa modified 30cc with all of my boats run Zip Kits tune pipes. Every single one of them. I don't have one tune pipe that's not a Zip Kits tune pipe. I'm pretty loyal to my people. And Joe at Zip Kits is one of my people. So I try to support him as much as I can. I try to support him. I try to support ML Boatworks. Rico for sure. Insane. Not overly impressed with Insane. They're okay. But I don't know the guy personally. I mean, it might be the best person in the world. I'm not knocking him. But anyway, this is a fast boat. It's a bit of a waste of time, in my opinion. I'm not a huge mono fan. You can see I got this horrible wrinkle in my windshield. It's just terrible. We'll paint that on. But it has a Redline racing engine in it, and that boat hauls ass. Monos, to me, like I said in my other video when I was running the skiff, you know, if you're running in waves and chop or on my mom's big lake where I was raised, great machines. But running on my little lake, kind of boring, really. This is the exact same hull as this one. It's a long story how I ended up with two. Long story. But anyway, exact same boat. But this one has a stock. No. This has a stock 32 Zenoa in it. It's the only one I have a 32 in, and the last one I'll have a 32 in. You can see I put 32cc on here and all that stuff. Hang on. Apologies, thought I had an interruption there. But anyway, 32cc Zenoa. Great torque. It's a fast boat. In my opinion, and guys, please, you know, if any of you experienced boat guys are watching this, let me know what the advantage to a fucking 32 Zenoa is, because I don't think it goes any faster than a 30. Maybe it has a little bit more torque response or something. Don't know. But the mounts are different. The engine mounts are different, so you have to buy different hardware. The parts are different. Everything's different on the damn thing. I'll never buy another one again because I just don't see the advantage. It's a good engine. I just don't see the advantage. If you're going to buy... it's just my thing. This is my Rico Racing. Sorry for the dirt. Love this boat. One of my favorite boats. This is my Rico Racing Drag Cat. And that is running an ESP modified race engine that I actually got off my buddy JJ Horvath in Florida. And you hear his name come up a lot because we talk every single day for years, and all we talk about is boats. Love this boat. I had an issue not too long ago where the switch in the radio box just corroded or whatever while I was running, and the boat took off and hit you guys have seen my lake. It's all covered with rocks on the outside, and completely ripped off that part of the sponson. And this boat used to be red, factory red. And I was so sad. I was so pissed. And that was when I ripped every single physical switch out of all my boats. And I will go over those switches in a minute. I do not use push-pull switches anymore. Crashed my favorite boat, pissed me off. So those are gone. But it worked out in the end. I did a repair job on it. You can't really tell that it was missing back to here. And I repainted it this burnt orange and did some new decals and called it the Short Drag with a little power snail on there. Love this boat. So fun. Absolutely fun. This is a V-Box from Zip Kits. We'll get into these later in another video, but this is a Cracker box hull that has a V bottom, so it's not legal in actual Cracker racing. But it's running a 30 as well. Super fun boats. They handle pretty well if you're going with the wind. I have mine running 30 cc's. They're designed for 26. Mine go a little too quick. And that's not a boasting. I'm not bragging. They're very, very fast. And if you have a sparrow fart of wind, it blows over. Because I like my boats running very dry and just absolutely amazing. I have 2 V's and I have 2 stocks, and I love them all. This one is a Rico Racing. You guys saw the skiff that was the Insane. This is a Rico Racing skiff that I prefer. I like it better. The center hatch is bigger. I don't know if I can kick this one up too. Love these. I love skiffs. I'm not dissing Insane. That's the Insane you guys saw the video on. Love that hull. I'm not saying it's not good. But you notice the center hatch. My pull start is right about here on the Insane. My pull start is right about here on that one. Okay? So that one's much easier to start. I named it after my favorite movie, Captain Kidd, old black and white flick from the 40s. I think it was the 40s. Got a speed prop on. This is a very fast boat. Runs awesome. However, it's a skiff. Skiff's a skiff. I'm sorry. They're all flat bottom, big ass boats. They all run pretty much the same if you dial them in the same. But I 3D printed my pirate and airbrushed him. He looks all cool. Captain Kidd. Did my pirate decals. Just a little kid in me coming out. Yeah, pretty much run identical. This one's got a little bit more ass in the width, I think, than the Insane. Rico is much cheaper on shipping than Insane. I think the reason Insane Boats named their boats Insane is because how fucking expensive the shipping is. It's insane. I love their stuff. I don't know them personally. I've only bought one hull from them. Yeah, go ahead and order one. You'll see what I mean. The skiffs, I would love to build a wooden skiff. I found a kit in England, and yeah, I don't know about that. But my buddy Joe at Zip Kit says, oh, they're a nightmare to build. We almost did the kit and blah, blah, blah. So fiberglass is the way to go. That is also running a stock 30, if I remember right. Yes, that's a stock 30cc Zenoa. These are also supposed to be running 26cc Zenoas to be legal. Screw legal. Okay. You guys have all seen this on my channel. This is my Blazer Marine Backlash Gen 3. The first one I built, the silver one. I call it the Bullet. You've probably seen it on the channel. I did some header wrap on it. Badass boat. My turn fin sucks. It lifts like... it's terrible. It runs good in the straights, but the turns are like... I need to do something about that. This is my other one. This is my Sea Monster. I think that's what the Japanese... Sea Dragon, maybe? This is the Mercruiser one. This is the second one I built. Exact same boat. I think they're both running stock 30s, I think. I should probably put the red line into one of them, but that's okay. And love this boat. This boat runs like a rape date. Frickin' perfect. But I've only run it a few times. You can see the pipe's like perfect. This boat actually sat for a couple years before I ran it. Beautiful machine. Good build, in my opinion. And it ran great. This one's kind of my beater. I have my beaters of every version. This is my beater Hydro. This is my beater Skiff. This is my beater Thunder. You know, you get it. This is a prototype that I can't talk much about, but that is a very, 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 very fast rigger that has a red line in it. I have not posted any videos on that yet, but that's a beautiful machine. This is another Cracker Box V that is from Zip Kits. I love these things. I can spit them out like Pez, man. I can build one of these in about 2 days. And 3D printed. You can see my kid coming out in me. Lego, obviously. And you got the crazy guy and the dude that's, again, running a stock 30. This is the V bottom. They run so fast. This is a super fun boat. If you want to take a boat and start it up, throw it in the lake, and just have a good time and not really worry about electric starters and fancy setups and all this other stuff, but still goes fast, still runs a little bit wild, still have to have some skill. Great boats. These it's called a V-Box from zipkits.com. Great boat to build for a first build as well, by the way. Very, very, very simple. Nothing hard about it. Easy to set up, and they're just fun. And if you trash it, it's like the kit's $90. Hang on. That my beautiful smoking hot wife decided to show me some picture of my cousin's baby or whatever. Anyhow, so back to the V-Box. You can see I got some more damage. You know, I beat the hell out of my crackers. I really do, because in honesty, I probably run them the most. Because I'm like, what I'll do is I'll fire it up on the bench, and I'll get it warmed up. I walk it down the hill. It's a pretty steep hill. I'll show you in a minute. I chuck it in the lake. Those are my boats that I just want to chuck and duck. Just run. And they're so much fun. And if I were to recommend a boat for a beginner, from building to driving to setting up, it would probably be a V-Box. I have had every boat known to man. I've built 300 some odd boats. Those are just, they're fun, they're cheap, they're easy to build, they're easy to set up, and they're just, you don't have to make it all fancy like I did. Clear coat the damn thing, throw it in the lake, don't even paint it if it's your first boat. And I used to actually build one every season. I would literally sacrifice it and burn it in the pit and build a new one. But yeah, just absolutely great boats. Now here are my two flat bottoms. Now these are real crackers. These are cracker legal in cracker races because they're flat bottoms. These are V's. Okay, a little bit of a mono-ish type of thing. These are flat like a skiff for the most part. Again, you want to be running 26cc to be legal in the class if you race. This is my Nintendo boat, Rev 2. You can see maybe over there it says Retro-2. The first Nintendo boat was silver. Then it got trashed. I rebuilt it, and that's the one that had Mario and Kirby on it. Then I painted it white, and I love white boats. And I just retired it a couple months ago, I think, and built a new one. And my oldest daughter's like, Dad, you got to keep the Nintendo theme. You have to do another Nintendo theme. I'm like, okay. So I did change some of the decals and whatever, but it is still a flat bottom boat. And yeah, absolutely love this machine. Stock 30cc, supposed to be a 26, but again, whatever. I'm not good with rules. And then we have the Menace down here, which is also a flat bottom. These are identical hulls. That one's running a Huff Racing 26 mod engine that I got years ago, and it's kind of given up the ghost. It runs okay. The RPM's okay, but the torque, it's hurting. So I have a kit coming from Gizmo to modify that thing up again. And then the hurricane hit down in Florida, and bad things happened, and God bless them, hope they're okay. I send them emails about every 3 weeks. Hey, is my order coming yet? So we'll see what happens. So great boats. I love them all. Except the electrics. You can have that. I'm sorry. I've tried it. My buddy JJ, who's a great racer down in Florida, and him and Joe from Zip Kits, JJ knows everybody, and he and I are like this. And great builder, phenomenal setup man. The guy can set up shit like forget about it. And I tell him every once in a while, I'm like, dude, I really do. I really try to like electric boats, but I don't. There's just no soul to me. There's no smoke. There's no noise. You don't have, I know KV. I know lipos. I mean, that's, drones, all that crap. I don't know. And just doesn't do it for me. And if it does it for you, then great. Seriously, I'm not dissing electric boats. They're very fast. Insanely fast. Mine are very fast, honestly. That one, and the Duracell. Wow, nightmares. Stupid fast. But I think, again, if you're racing, stupid fun. If you're just by yourself poking around on your little ski lake, I don't know. Kind of boring. But that's just my opinion. We all have opinions like assholes, right? Spare kit wood that I use for bits and bobs and repairs. This is my goose chaser for when they're on the ground and not in the lake. And then if you walk out this shop door, oh, look at that. There's the racetrack. The hammock that my oldest daughter reads in. Some suicide swings go over the hills. This hill is steep. I know you can't tell by the camera, but that's a 39-degree angle that I have to mow. Fire pit's down yonder. and there's a lake, there's a blue heron swinging around. The rescue rowboat, and there's Simon and Garfunkel. See those swans down there? Those are usually in the water. Those keep the damn geese away, because I hate geese. Canada, you can take your country bird and blow it out your ass. I hate them. So, that is basically the shop tour. I don't think there's... Oh, wait, there is this thing. I've never even flown it. That's a walrus glider thing. This plane, if you can see this, guys, I may have gone over this in a video years ago, I don't know, has a nitro engine with heat shrink skin, balsa build. This is a pylon racer that my buddy in Ohio, in Toledo, his dad used to build these from scratch. Like, he designed the kit. And his dad, and he used to race in this Toledo Pylon Racer Club or something. And he and I became friends through the channel with drones. And he gave me this plane. He said, hey, my dad passed away, and he had a whole barn full of these things. And in different states of repair or whatever. I had 2 of them. And he goes, I'll give you an engine and a complete one, minus maybe the servos or whatever. But and, you know, I'd like you to have it just because it meant a lot to my dad, and there's so much shit, we need to get rid of it and whatever. And my dad had passed away too, obviously. So it was like, you know, wow, that really meant a lot to me. You know, this dude did this. And I drove up and we met, and we went to a restaurant and had some dinner, bought him dinner, and he gave me this plane, engine and all. And he's like, oh, you got to fly it. I was like, I'm not flying that damn plane. It's a scratch-built balsa. No. JJROTOGEEK flying a nitro. No. I can fly it. Landing it? Might be a different devil. Landing gears right there. Check this out. Old school landing gear. So cool. I love that plane. So that's like my prized possession in this garage. Actually, if the place burnt down, yeah, I would probably save that plane. So anyway, that is the quick overview. Oh, and candy corn. Don't forget bulk candy corn from Amazon. You got to have that with your roto twister. That's good shit. I think that's about it, really. So if you guys want to see, I'm going to try it. Like my buddy Ryan, he's like, oh, I love your videos, and you know, and we're friends now. And he's like, oh, it'd be fun to see that stuff. Okay, fine. So I'm going to try to do more videos. If there's particular things that you want to see, I'm obviously only doing boat stuff, but like boat setups, radio boxes, tools of the trade, things to do, not to do, whatever else. I'd rather do something that people are interested in than just me pulling shit out of my ass and having it come out like Oxidine or Bardwell. So let me know in the comments if you guys want to see anything different and or specific. You know, throttle setups, exhaust setups, whatever. And if I don't know it, I will talk to my buddy JJ or the multitude of other people I know, and we will figure it out. So, until then, kids, keep the dry side up. Stay warm. It's getting cold. Take care.